guys and gals, Never here from Drake Queen Gaming. It's something out Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you to the Let's Play episode of Sileo, Ty's Path. So, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we, y'all? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alright. The scent had grown stronger, and I couldn't have been far behind. I continued to follow as the scent snaked around, almost as though Ty were trying to shake me loose in my pursuit. Nice try, I thought to myself as the scent led through a thick patch of tangled undergrowth. Things were going well. That was until I reached a position near the middle of the coarse scrub. His scent almost seemed as though it went in every direction all at once. I took a moment to process what my nose was telling me. Let me see if I need to turn off certain... No. So, I can't, yeah, I can't disable the adult content, so I'm still going to have to censor it. Okay. Things were going well. That was until I reached a position near the middle of the coarse scrub. His scent almost seemed as though it went in every direction all at once. I took a moment to process what my nose was telling me. He had deliberately scrambled his path, walking in jagged loops and uneven shapes, making turns at sharp and unpredictable angles, all the while deliberately crossing his own path many, many times over. I looked around nervously, scared that he would use my confusion to catch me unaware. I did not know how much time had passed, but if he wasn't already hunting me, he certainly would be very soon. Thankfully, I saw no trace of him. I stood still and held my breath, listening for any sound that could possibly belong to him, but all I could hear was the sound of the forest's residents. Must be chirping and singing away among the treetops. Having exhausted my options, I fell back on my nose as I sniffed frantically around my immediate vicinity, picking up disparate and mismatching fragments of Ty's path, each one more contradictory than the rest. I focused carefully on information my nose had gleaned, desperately trying to extract some vague clue from all the confusion. And then, I finally saw it. A path that circled around my position in a wide arc before it sharply turned inward before becoming muddled and unclear. Whatever Ty had done had forged a poorly defined path right through the intersection of the others. It served to blend in with the sensory noise, creating only more confusion as it quietly slipped away, content in having not drawn any attention to itself as it did. It was a cunning trick, one that I was proud of having bested. I could not help but wear a smug grin as I owned in on the new path, following it through more and more of the twisted vegetation, until it came to an abrupt halt among a dense patch of trees. I sniffed around, desperately trying to regain scent. Alas, my efforts bore no fruit. It seemed as though he had vanished completely in that very spot, right at the foot of a tall tree. I felt a chill run down my spine as he watched me from above, poised to pounce at a moment's notice. Despite being nearly paralyzed with fear, I forced myself to keep moving as not to alert him that his cover had been blown. I scratched my chin, doing my very best to appear clueless and lost, all the while my ears were pricked right up, waiting for any sound that could possibly forewarn of an attack. I wouldn't be waiting long. The sound of a snapping branch propelled me into action as I threw my entire body weight towards where Ty had pounced from, just barely slipping beneath him as he twisted in midair in a desperate attempt to compensate for my evasion. Oh, that sounded painful. Poor guy. Ouch! I picked myself up from the ground, brushing debris from my clothing as the dirt kicked up by Ty's sudden impact slowly settled. Ty was trying to climb to his feet, yet seemed to be encountering some difficulties in doing so. His red sweater vest, which had become snagged on a loose branch, was pulled over his head and away from his body as he struggled in place. It seemed as though he had become snagged and was half naked to boot. I saw a golden opportunity. Cautiously I approached, wary of entrapment and poised for evasion, but Ty remained in place, seemingly having accepted his demise. I knelt beside him, my doubts slowly giving way to a smug sense of satisfaction once again. Our animated sequences are enabled. You are about to enter an animated sequence. This can cause devices into memory to crash or cause significant slowdown on some older devices. Oh my god. Oh boy. Oh my god. Well then, looks like I won. Oh god. It sure does seem that way. I was almost certain I would have thrown you off my trail long before you found my hiding place. You did well. I mean, hello, thumbnail. I mean, he's fully clothed, so this could be the thumbnail. Thanks, you're right, but that was actually very enlightening. We should do this again someday, but I think we had best be getting back to the matter at hand. Sunset can't be far off, and we still haven't found what we need to start the fire. Indeed, you are quite right. Ty shifted in place. That is, when I noticed that both of his arms had become tightly ensnared by the very same wild and twisted undergrowth that carpeted the forest floor as far as the eye could see. I did not suppose I could trouble you for some assistance. I was about to oblige, leaning in and helping him loose. That wasn't until I remembered something he had said before the hunt had begun. Come to think of it, you never were that clear on what winner takes all constituted. Oh, well, I'd hoped, well, I wish I could get a little more close and personal with that delightful scent you carry. Close and personal, huh? And here I was thinking we were taking things slow. Yes, you're right. I apologize for that implication, mind you. I had anticipated that you would win, so there's no harm, right? It was blatantly obvious that Ty was trying to bluff his way out of the situation. I wasn't buying it. I think the opposite is true. I don't think you expected to lose. Hunter, I had nothing but the utmost faith in you, that I swear. I don't believe that for a second, but the fact remains. I'm the winner. And you know what? Yes? Winner takes all. Oh, dear. I wrapped my fingers around the waistband of Ty's pants to make sure to dig my claws just enough that it hurt. Just enough that it hurt. And then leaned forward and put my mouth to his ear, whispering my next words. Sidonia seems fitting. What? That's your safe word. But you're tougher than that, right? I'm sure you won't be needing it. Ty whimpered ever so slightly, but otherwise remained totally silent. I counted down from 30 for the second time that afternoon, giving Ty plenty of time to be a coward, but perhaps he was even more brave than I gave him credit for. Or perhaps the predator somewhere deep down didn't much mind being the prey every once in a while. Nonetheless, I played his rigged game, clutching victory from the jaws of defeat, and now I was looking to exact my revenge. Oh god, okay. 1 second, y'all, let me get past this. Alright, y'all, we are back. I had to skip that. It was a very long not safe for work scene, so that shall definitely be going up on our Patreon when I cover that. Anyway, lacking in soaps and shampoos, cleaning ourselves of the evidence of our indiscretions was a harder task than anticipated. We had barely managed to free our fur of sticky clumps by the time the sun reached the very edge of the horizon, demanding our immediate return to camp should we wish to see the sunset. Desperately shaking the water from our fur, I returned Ty's sunglasses to him, and the two of us briskly redressed ourselves before quickly departing in the direction of our camp. On approach, Ty spotted Axel and Russell watching the sunset facing away from us. Seeing his opportunity, Ty stealthily pranced into the camp and approached his bag, quickly retrieving a spare set of clothing to replace his sweater vest, which from its position on the offending tree branch had acquired several suspicious white splotches in our foray. Having successfully changed in record time, he then collected his spare set of fire-making supplies before rapidly assembling a campfire in the middle of our campsite. Ta-da! One campfire as promised. Oh, wow, you found the stuff! Great job! Nice work, dudes! I simply cannot take credit, after all. It was Hunter here who did all the hard work. Thanks, Hunter! What? Oh, yeah, thanks. Hey, when did you change your clothes? Well, you see, much like our dear friend Axel here, I too have tumbled into a river today. You fell in too? Indeed. That will teach me not to watch where I step. It's so funny, my dude. I can't believe you did that. I feel included. Hold on. Why is Hunter's fur wet? Well, simply because he, with zero hesitation, hopped right in to rescue me. But his clothes are dry. Well, naturally, he tore his off beforehand. He did not bring a spare set, you see. Right, Hunter? Oh, yeah, I was butt-ass naked. Man, you're like such a thoughtful dude, Hunter. Indeed he is. Such a handsome and totally nude young man coming to my rescue. He truly is my hero. Axel started to laugh, followed promptly by Russell. Ty and I then quickly joined in, albeit somewhat nervously as we prayed that the terrible bluff had sufficiently fooled our companions. As cheerful laughter flowed freely among our group, we each took up positions along the outer edge of the outcrop our campsite was situated upon in order to get the best possible view of the sunset. And Ty was completely right. The view was simply incredible. He had taken position immediately to my right, so close that I could feel his mildly damp fur brush against mine with every small motion. After several moments of silence, Ty turned his gaze towards me. I do hope you have enjoyed yourself thus far. I am particularly cognizant of the fact that I had never properly ascertained whether camping was your forte. If I didn't want to come, I would have said as much. And this has been so much more enjoyable than I'd expected. This spot is beyond anything I could have imagined. I still can't believe you can see Sidonia from this far out. And I have never seen such an amazing sunset. Ty reached up to his face, removing his glasses and tucking them away in his pocket before turning back to me, his violet eyes shining in the evening light. Woodcrest is full of beautiful locations like this, not all quite so remote. However, I am of the opinion that this is one of the very finest, and you deserve nothing less. I looked up towards Ty, his warm and tender smile giving me butterflies as we locked eyes. We both leaned closer to one another before sharing a loving kiss. Aw, so cute! Ha, Axe, you're ruining the moment! But I... Axel, lacking the words to properly explain how he was feeling instead, failed to suppress a dramatic squeak, something that sent Russell into a fit of laughter. Looks like our spectators are enjoying the show. I fear that if we were to keep this up, Axel may burst into an overinflated like an overinflated balloon. I laughed, imagining the poor cheetah exploding like some kind of cartoon character, his spotted fur being all that remained where he once stood. I then returned my focus to the horizon, watching as the last slivers of sun disappeared behind Sidonia, casting gargantuan shadows across the landscape below. Hey, Ty? Thank you. Today's been amazing. We should do this again sometime. In the final moments of evening light, I saw him smile brightly in response to my words, only for that smile to twist into a distinctive look of mischief. I would love that, and who knows, maybe we'll have another unfortunate accident with the firewood. The two of us shared a hearty laugh before Ty, still bearing his wide and handsome smile, reached his arm around my waist and slid me closer toward him as I nestled my nose into his soft chest. Bit by bit, the orange hues of the skyline faded away to be replaced only by the calming blues of the nighttime sky. Until finally our party found itself immersed in darkness. I think that is our cue to start this fire, would you not agree? After all the work we went through getting materials, it would be a shame not to. Ty chuckled slyly at our inside joke before planting a quick peck on my cheek and climbing to his feet. I followed closely in his wake as he knelt down beside the fire before stealthily looking toward Axel and Russell once more. Russell was digging through his bag while Axel rolled up a previously damp sleeping bag and several pairs of clothing he'd been drying out the evening sun. Seeing his opportunity, Ty retrieved a lighter from his pack, using it to quickly ignite the bonfires as quickly and inconspicuously as possible. Ooh, nice. Lovely. A terrific campfire, if I'd say so myself. Yay! Whoa, you got that going in record time! Isn't he so talented? Ha! Oh, please, you flatter me too much. Now, I hope you boys are hungry. Ty circled the camp, collecting up various pieces of outdoor cookware we'd brought along with us before he began to assemble some sort of makeshift stovetop above the fire. He then retrieved a pan, a set of knives, a chopping board, and a spatula. Wow, whenever Dom and I go camping, we always just pack our meals. Real neat, huh, Axe? It's like a totally portable kitchen. Come now, I hardly do things in half measures. Russell, would you mind handing me the vegetables? I believe I stowed them in your pack. Russell turned to his pack and reached within, retrieving the requested vegetables as Ty held out his hand expectantly. Russell stopped short of handing them over, however, instead holding his own hand out similarly. Hand over the knife, dude. Eh? Dude, I'm totally helping out. It's like, not fair expecting you to do everything. Oh, no, it's quite all right, I assure you. You should relax and enjoy the calming atmosphere. Man, like, nah, you brought us out here, you're feeding us, and you even went out of your way to make sure we had a fire. I'm helping, dude. End of like story, man. Ty and I locked eyes as we shared a smug grin. Alas, Ty saw little choice but to accept Russell's aid, lest he risk blowing our cover. He collected up the cutting board and the knives, passing them carefully to the shark. I can only concede and graciously accept your aid, then. If you would not mind chopping these vegetables, I will get to work on the rest of the culinary tasks. Sorry. Axel, whatever are you sorry for? I want to help too, but, when Dom was teaching me how to make myself cheese toasties, I set the kitchen on fire. Goodness me, but please worry not. I want nothing more than for you to relax. And that goes for you too, Hunter. I have enough hands in the kitchen already. You're a pain in the ass sometimes, you know that? I think if anybody has been a pain in anybody's ass today, it would be you, my dear. Huh? Oh, shut up. I gave Ty a playful smack on the arm, causing him to erupt into laughter once again as Axel and Russell shared a look of mild confusion with one another. Alrighty. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. I got to get ready for work. Thank y'all so much for watching. I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!